YouTube, what is going on? This is Swedes of the Passion Network. I am bringing you yet another commentary. I have yet to divulge my interest in Destiny with you guys. This is one of my favorite games, and today what I have to share with you is really cool. As I have done some research in the past couple days and kind of connected some dots that I'm sure Bungie didn't want the public seeing much of yet. But if any of you have heard, like myself, Destiny in regards to their DLC and future installments, this is what I believe to be their future installment, has had a leak, if you will, on Twitter. So about 2 months ago, this picture was released on Twitter in January. I'm sure Bungie didn't want this released to the public, and I'm sure Activision more so of anything, because they are really strict about that stuff, didn't want this released to the public. I'm going to refer back to this picture later on, as I do have some points to make in the meantime. For starters, Destiny's initial release date and DLC rotation. Destiny released in September 9th, 2014. Approximately 3 months later, we get the first DLC from them, The Dark Below, December 9th, 2014. And in 6 days, we were supposed to get the second DLC from them in March 10th, 2015, The House of Wolves. Now, the reason I'm bringing up the DLC rotation is because this new DLC that I'm exploring my interest in, I kind of heard of it, just around YouTube and, reading posts on Reddit and IGN. It's supposed to be Comet, it's supposed to be a massive expansion pack called Comet, Plague of Darkness. That's supposed to drop in September 2015. Now, if we back it up, like I said, the initial release date of Destiny was September 9th. And then we got, DLC 3 months from then, and then 3 months from then with the Dark Below and the House of Wolves. When you look at Comet, Plague of Darkness, although it is a massive expansion pack, it is completely out of the DLC rotation. Now, I could totally be wrong about this, because this expansion, if you've read anything on Reddit, is supposedly supposed to have 3 new subclasses, 2 new weapons, 12 new story missions, and just one new playable area, one new texturized full playable area called the Hive Ship. I could be entirely wrong, but because the fact that they're shipping this content, it's supposed to be $60 content. Not a lot of DLC just ships as $60 content. That's an entirely new game when you think about it. So when people come around to that time, September, and they're like, okay, well, I could buy the new Black Ops 3, which I'm gonna guess is gonna come out sometime around November or December, as Call of Duty always wraps up that Christmas market as the annual release from Activision. Destiny is more so a side project just to scoop up, even more money with an entirely different studio that has a different vision for a different game. I think people are going to be a little reluctant to buy $60 content if it's just DLC. Now, referring back to this picture, I want you to take a good long look at this. When you see this picture, you see, and I do apologize about the resolution. I couldn't, I searched around, I couldn't find a more higher resolution picture or posting anywhere to kind of bring out the text on the bottom of these pictures. But if you look all the way to the left, you see the initial release date of Destiny 1, September 9th, 2014. You can see that underneath the game pretty clearly. And then you see Episode 1, Episode 2, that's the first and second DLC, The Dark Below and House of Wolves. And then you see the third icon, which looks to be like, the same case as the first Destiny game. That is what I believe to be the second installment of the Destiny franchise. And I think they're just going to call it Comet, or Destiny, Comet, Plague of Darkness, maybe something like that. Besides the point, I think that those two next to it, you can kind of see it says Vex U or Vex 2. I do apologize about the text again. And then you see Forge of Gods. I think those two, at least what I believe, are going to be DLC for the second game. Now, considering Activision has already explained that they have already been working on Destiny 2 as of November 2014, like I mentioned, and like I said earlier, the first 2 DLCs were basically cut-offs from the vanilla game and reshipped as DLC. I think that they're already working on Destiny 2 right now. Now, the reason I don't think that they're going to have such a big hype train like they did for Destiny 1 is because they already had that hype train with Destiny 1. I don't think their hype train needs to last any longer than 3 months, because their sales are sitting right between 15 and 20 million. So that, I think, set that really well up for Activision and Bungie, and kind of laid the groundwork for a second release. And it wouldn't surprise me. It's Activision. They've been releasing annual releases with Call of Duty for the past 5 or 6. But I totally digress. My main interest here was looking at the the DLC rotation in its entirety. The initial release date of Destiny, when you look at all the Call of Duties, are released right around the same year, basically in the same month, and sometimes even in the same week. When you look at the past 3 or 4 years, I believe. Destiny was released September of last year. it was said that the Comet is going to release September of this year, which initially piqued my interest. And then I kind of saw that picture, and then you know, I kind of looked at it and I was like, well, it will only make sense for, you know, Destiny to be released again in September, right before when Call of Duty comes out, because like I mentioned before, you know, Call of Duty you know, releases right about the same time every single year to kind of wrap up that Christmas market and that Black Friday market. With that said, I know this was a little bit of a different kind of video. I usually don't delve into this kind of stuff. I usually leave it to guys like B Dobbins and, you know, other guys who are, you know, have a deeper foot in the gaming industry, like Kozov TK. Those guys are awesome. If you haven't seen their videos, I urge you to check them out. I'll maybe link them in the description box below. But please rate, guys, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.